Silent timer. Let's play this game called Delphia. Let's go. ... Delphia. Philadelphia. Your name you shouldn't forget. Get over it. Over yourself. What am I getting over? Outside, the sky is overcast with clouds, and no sunlight can seep through the dense and grey blanket laid over the world. Oh, it was just a dream. The same dream again. The only thing different this time was the voice. The voice was on TV? Who was that voice? Delphia sits upright on her bed. She taps the nightstand's lamp's power button. The bulb clicks to life, but the cone of light she was expecting is a circle of stunted, fuzzy whiteness void of luminescence. Oh, this novelist is a novelist. They like adjectives. Over it, maybe a big mountain of stuff. Yeah, maybe a mountain. She passes her hand underneath it, her digits soft tone, harshly contrasting with the slate light appearance of everything else the light reveals. Face arts are cute. Actually, right, face art is quite cute. Delphia, no, it's still on, just like every other day, and how I feel inside. The world seems unbearably dark. A lot of depressed people, a lot of depressed protagonists in this jam so far. The room reveals itself exactly as she remembers it in every aspect, apart from its colours. I feel like this person could write a novel. They could write a novel and they'd be able to find enough words for it. Every single item, every piece of furniture, and all objects within it are presented in various tones of grey. She is there in the mirror, still untouched by the full weight of the darkness. Now that I think of it, how long has it been since the world was dyed in such deep black? Okay. But so is it all in Delphia's mind that it's deep black, or is it a shared black darkness? I never really tried going outside or wondered what's happening to me right now. Okay, so wait, how long has she been trapped here also? Why is she not black here? Black and white here. Why is everything else black and white, but she's not? Is this how she appears to herself? I just wanted to be somewhere I wouldn't have to see them. Who are you seeing? Them. Oh, the darkened eyes. Who are they? Delphia puts a hand on the side of her head. Delphia closes her eyes and inhales deeply, but nothing seems to emerge from her memories. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. The grey, white, and black blend together in streaks similar to the ominous clouds outside. Okay, so she's looking outside. Is this like Spiral? Benny, you can't just ask why they aren't black. Hey, you know, representation. That voice, where did it come from? It was calling me outside. I don't want to go outside. Suddenly her eyes lock on something lying on the desk, a notebook with a pencil next to it. My notebook, I always write everything important in it. Maybe it'll help me remember something. Okay. Okay. Oh, you can walk on... Oh, no. Oh, this is... Try to make the tile set possibilities a bit better, because this just looks like you can walk right over things. But let's have a look at our notebook. Delphia starts flipping the pages, reading some entries and looking over some of the drawings and sketches. I remember when I used to write or draw in it since I was young. In school, I carried it around a lot. So Delphia's like an internal sort of person. Not that I care that much, but it's already been so long since I last went to school. Okay. As she mulls over the entries, Delphia notices something about her notebook. Some pages are missing throughout, 8 in total. Are we going to Slender Man this thing? Huh? Where are these pages? When did I lose them? I can't even remember if I lost them outside. The last place I remember going to when I was outside is probably the school. Wait, how long has Delphia been inside, and when did they go outside? I thought earlier they said they can't remember. I don't know. I still hesitate to leave the house, but now it seems like I have no other choice. So it seems like Delphia is the correct term hikikomori? Is that any shut-in? Or rather, agoraphobic. I have to find them to get all my memories back. Okay. Puts down the notebook and turns once again to her wardrobe. She opens it and starts browsing her pieces of attire. After a few moments spent sorting the clothes hangers, Delphia makes her choice and changes into her new clothes. Time to go out. Okay. I have to find them to get all my memories back. Is the music on? I think it is. I hope I didn't... It's not because I disabled music at some point, but I think... Oh, it's supposed to be kind of creepy. That is creepy. Just a note that there is the sprite isn't aligned, so the top row of pixels on those sprites is peeking through when you go right. See that? So yeah, just need to align those sprites properly and they'll be fine. Just shift it over in paint.net or whatever it is. Or whatever you use, Photoshop. Oh, look who I've found. It's been a while, hasn't it, Delphia? Dahlia says. Delphia freezes for an instant after listening to the words. It's not them that strike deeper than any other wound she's ever suffered, but the person standing in front of her. Oh, who are we fighting? Oh, that's a creepy looking battler. And I like... So what I do like... I'm going to turn it down a teensy bit. What I do like is that they've edited this battle screen to fit this, and I like, you know, because it's like clearly about one person. Stamina, EP, I don't know what that means, but it's like a interestingly edited battle screen, but unlike some of the others I've played, they've reduced it down to what you need, so you don't need the beginning, oh, do you want to fight or escape, you don't want this or that. It's quite minimal, actually. Trying to beat up your classmates? Yeah, so actually, I am actually a big fan of this battle screen. The only downside I can see in it is that I just want to see the battler while I'm choosing my action, but that's just me, because the battler is really cool. Talk or perform insult. Now, here's the only problem here is that I don't know what these do, and sometimes it's nice to know what they do, but let's try insulting. You're hideous, stay away from me. Wait and see. See, I don't know what that did. I don't know if I'm supposed to know what that did. Talk with the enemy. Dahlia, it's been years, yes. Ever since that day, I haven't stopped thinking about what you did to me, of how cruel you were, just to save face. Okay, so up until now, I will say that the writing I wasn't the biggest fan of, because it was kind of spinning wheels and doing big poetic descriptions of like, oh, my voice is too loud. Poetic descriptions of like, oh, the sky and this and that. But now we're kind of getting a sense of, oh, this is why Dahlia bullied me. Dahlia was cruel just to save face. This is a very nice line, and it really sets up the stakes at hand. So this is a bully years ago. So that's the line that hooked me so far, is that one right there. But the thing is that I don't know what talk and insult do mechanically, so I'm less drawn to them. If only I knew. What if I talk again? What happens? Is this like an Undertale type thing? Where you can like keep talking and it will... Why are you back? Are you trying to deceive me again? To sacrifice me so that your reputation won't be tarnished? Well, at this point, even if it doesn't do anything gameplay-wise, I'm actually interested in more of what Delphia has to say about this opponent. Oh, okay, that... that killed him. Alright. Okay, I see. I see how it is. Now level 2. So I'm going to do the Undertale version and just talk. The there was no effect is also a bit deceiving or misinforming. Yeah, I think initially there was no effect, but then the effect happened after. It is a little confusing, yeah. Murder by words, exactly. So if there is a little bit... I think it's fine because in the end I understood, but like, yeah, a little bit of clarity around that. But like, hey, being able to talk... I think I can understand maybe even how it's lining up with the theme Beyond Expectations, where it's like, oh... You expect to fight, but actually you can talk your way through it if you'd like. And that sometimes developers want to keep that a secret, but maybe a little bit more guidance, you know. Even, what's its name? Undertale says something like, hey, I can't remember how it introduces the idea that you can talk your way through a battle, but I think it does so in a way where it's instantly understandable that, hey, this is another thing that you can do. Delphia shudders and stops after the words reach her ears. The familiar physiognomy, big word, of the person speaking clenches her heart for an instant, replaying even more familiar emotions of pain and discomfort. Dahlia, Undertale did not do that well. My friend went on a murder spree. Okay. I seem to remember it doing well in my playthrough, but I might have already known the gimmick. But in that game, I guess it's not a short game, it's a long game, so you can afford to go... Oh wait, there's another way to play this, so it's like a big game, you know. But this one is assumedly a smaller game. Why are you here? Why are you back? Haven't you done enough? They didn't know they were going to do so because, yeah, typical RPG is violence. I think that is part of why I like Undertale, because it was kind of sneaky with it. But at least it's kind of telegraphed that talking is an option that you can resolve, you know, combat with talking. Can't you simply leave me alone, please? And also I believe that Undertale shapes its narrative around you being able to be violent as well if you want to, and that's hopefully just as interesting. Dahlia reshapes her facial expression into a new one of sly contempt and joyful anticipation. Oh, poor Delphia, you haven't understood why that happened yet? You were miserable, and just as miserably you fled school and never spoke to anyone. Yeah, this story is actually pretty interesting. It's a very rude thing to do, to simply pack up and leave. Okay, textbook gaslighting. Dahlia saying, very rude thing to do. All because someone picking on you, calling you names and tossing your things around. It's like belittling someone's struggle just by saying, you are the one being rude to us by packing up and leaving. So here's the thing, is they don't elaborate why that's a bad thing. They just say, you were forced to do this thing because someone because someone did these actions. You could have done something different, but they're kind of ignoring all empathy in the form of like just blame, and that's textbook, narcissist behavior. And yeah, I can see that. Dahlia scoffs, shifting her head just enough to move her hair as well. Pathetic. For a moment, I even considered the idea that we may have gotten along only if you had more spine. You see, it's like this idea that, oh, if only you had more tenacity or like perseverance, then you might have been a likable person. But this is a truth distortion, because plenty of people are willing to be friends with someone who is, weak, and weakness is not a bad thing. But it's easy for a person to manipulate someone into thinking that good traits or just, neutral traits can be inherently bad things. If you were just less of a mewling wimp, if I had to let you go, I had to move away when the others targeted you. What would that make me look like? Everybody always kept their eyes on me all the time. You shouldn't have been there with me. It doesn't matter anymore. You still haven't learned your lesson. Years ago, I had to make it happen so you would understand. I had to tell that bully where to find you. Oh, this is really rough, because Dahlia's saying, hey, I'm not the bully. I am simply one teaching lessons. I only told the bully where you were so they could find you and beat you up. I'm not to blame, and it's like, yeah, that's also bullying by indirect, like full-on violence. Like if you're like, hey, I want to hire an assassin to assassinate somebody, and then they're like, I didn't actually kill them, I just hired an assassin to assassinate them. But the very fact that the story is making me think of such moral quandaries is a good sign of its storytelling. Dahlia's voice has a sharp quality to it, almost slithering around Delphia's head and body as she hears the poisonous words. There's a big sense of the story of indirect, like, personality things becoming real and becoming real forces. And yet you're still here, still with me. It's not good. You make me look miserable. We have a lot to talk about, don't we? It's not good. You make me look miserable. Well, that was a repeated line, but... Oh, okay. Dahlia's form quivers as her silhouette begins to change colors and consistency. There's color in the world again. Her body appears to start fading away, dissolved by the malingering... I don't believe that's a word. Malicious or lingering. Those are two different words, but malingering is not a real word, I don't think. Let me check. I don't believe it is. Malingering. Oh, it is! Whoa. I was wrong. Malingering. Oh, it's a verb. Pretend to be ill in order to escape duty or work. So I was half right. Malingering is a word, but it isn't... Oh, no, wait. No, it is used correctly here. It's just very unusually. It's saying dissolved by the umbral space that was pretending to be ill in order to escape duty or work surrounding them both. I'm not quite sure how that metaphor works, to be honest. So I would just say it's... I don't think that's the... I don't think that's like a... I don't get that metaphor, but hey, it's valid English. I didn't know that it was a real word. As the darkness starts to claim her... Oh, oops, the timer was still going. It's just that I tabbed out. I'm just using the screen share thing. As the timer starts to claim her, she raises her head slowly and gazes with suddenly weary and melancholic eyes at Delphia. I'm sorry I betrayed you all those years ago. Oh, okay, so there's a change of heart. I really wanted to be your friend, but I was too scared. When I first met you, I thought you would simply stick around me to be considered popular as everyone else always did. I will say just, minor nitpicks. The window skin and stuff could use some work and stuff, but this is just like minor things. Dahlia's face twists in a clunky attempt at a smile as she recalls sour memories. But I was wrong. You were a good person. You want to be my friend because you care for me. What I like is that there's a generalized good sense of like setup and catharsis that is happening here. Even if it is a bit rushed, but it's a short film, a short game, so... You want to know me for real? I took all you had offered me and stepped on it because I was too afraid of people's judgment. I saw when you were being harassed by those bullies, and that day at school, I told them where to find you. Dahlia's head lowers while her lower limbs disaggregate bit by bit, ravaged by the shadows. That's also a real word, but I just wouldn't use it because I think it's just a bit unusual to be using there. Because I was desperate to avoid being judged myself, so I backstabbed you. I was scared that the others would pick on me too. I didn't want to be hurt, but I ended up hurting you instead. I've done a terrible thing. Please forgive me. See, sometimes it's better to just use simple words. I remember Stephen King gave a writing tip that was just like, something like, use simple words where possible. Let me see what the quote was. Quote, use simple words. Oh yeah, he said, use the first word that comes to mind if it's a good fit and has a nice sound. In essence, trust your gut and avoid trying to be overly fancy or pretentious with your words. Yeah, basically that was the idea. So some of these words sound a little bit strange in usage. So just use the simple words sometimes if needed. As her last words reach Delphia's ears, her former friend's body is no more, dissolved in the grey, white, and black engulfing this reality. As the last bits of Dahlia swirl away, borne by a gust of air, a lonely memento clings to Delphia's body. You gain a handkerchief with a burgundy black filigree. Okay. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for more. Does that mean it's the end of the game, or... Oh, I'm going to ban Glacial on the side here. If that's the end of the game, it's like, stay tuned for more. Can't go back. Is that the end of the game? I would make it so that you could do like a return to title screen after this if it is the end of the game. I feel like if I wasn't talking... Yes, it did reach 15 minutes on my playthrough, technically speaking. So I will count it. Even though maybe if I wasn't talking, it might not have been 15 minutes. But I think it's okay. I'm a slow player, so I think that's the end. And I have to give it benefit of the doubt, really. Cool, I think that's the end. So, Delphia, let's recap. So I'm gonna go through and mark my marks silently for this game. Delphia. Okay. So one thing, I'll just say generalized thoughts. Good storytelling. Very, very short. Yo, just hop in and alert while you sleep. Happy Jam Judgment. Welcome in, Narcotis. You know I love you, and I hope you're having a good time today. And yeah, just have a great sleep. Have a great working sleep. Glad to be of that service. So with Delphia, I actually quite liked the storytelling. I think some of it was on the nose. I think some of it had used words that were too big and unwieldy, and some poetic descriptions that were too used unusual words that were just felt like they were reaching for big words. But the good part was that I think there was a good emotional pull at the center of the story. I'm just going to turn it down a tad. I just think that maybe it was both a bit rushed and short. If it was longer, sure, I would probably give this a much higher mark. I'm going to give it a fairly... It's not a spoiler, I guess, but it's kind of just giving reasoning why I don't think I'm going to give it an amazing, a massive mark, is because it's just a lot short, very short. It just went over the mark in terms of the timer. But in general, Oh, sorry, the timer, I should stop it. In general, I think what is here is promising. Where's the beyond expectation? I think, for me, one of the things is that you expected them to maybe keep hurting you, but you made a different decision, and then the unexpected happened and it turned into a good thing. And that's what I'm sort of judging this theme on. Now, the theme score, I'm basically making it so like 0 means it's anti the theme. It's even everything plays into expectation. 15, around 15 probably just means like, okay, I can see that this game was made for this jam. If it's a little lower, it might be like, oh, it could be interpreted as the theme, but it would be a little bit of a stretch. So like 10 to 15 for me would be like a light stretch. 5 to 10 would be a big stretch, and 0 to 5 would be, it had to be a massive stretch in order to even match the theme. And then for me, above 15 to 20 will be like, oh, this was on theme, and it's obvious that it's on theme. 20 to 25 will be, okay, it's quite cleverly on theme. And then 25 to 30 will be like, it's extremely clever the way that it tries to use the theme, you know, and it's obvious, and it's even like it's outstanding, you know. I've had maybe even, I think it was like a couple of those where I'm like, I was very pleased with the way that it used the theme. But for this one, I would say the theme, I think, could be interpreted from this as an unexpected thing happening, going from a battle to a resolution and the world turning to color. I think that's quite unexpected, even if it isn't completely obvious. So that's my comments around the theming. I'll give it a score of how much I think it was. There we go. And now I'll go into gameplay. Gameplay, I will say, the game is very, very short. There is not enough time to explore why. Hello, Rhyme. Yeah, this is the first game, actually. Yeah, I just finished it. It was very short. It was about 15 minutes long. Just above the limit. Game is very, very short. There's not time to explore why the elements of the battles. If the game was longer, and if it had at least 3 battles, I think I'd give this a higher score, because the one battle I played was actually kind of cool. It reminded me of Undertale. But it just needs more battles, longer script, and just a longer game overall for me to give it any higher. Yeah, it's quite a shame, because the game, it's like the game itself probably could have been better if it was just simply longer. Do you agree, Pudding? I think most people agree that it's decent. It would be a decentish game if it wasn't 15 minutes, but like a lot, like, you know, at least 3 encounters where it got more and more intense. Engagement, I was fairly engaged throughout by the good narrative beats, but just as I was starting to get hooked in, it ended. So I don't think it's engaging overall. It just needs more meat on the bone. Friendly reminder? What's the friendly reminder? Are you lurking? How about presentation? Oh yeah, I seem to be talking about each aspect allowed to all of us. Well, I'm not giving a rating for each section, but it's sort of just, yeah. I'm not saying the rating, but anyway. I don't think it'll be too bad because the ratings will be revealed anyway. Yeah. It is something that I think I'm not too bad about. It's just as long as I don't just put it all out there early, you know, like put a grid of all the entries and all the numbers that I'm giving them, because then people will compare and then complain and all this sort of stuff. So it's basically just a way to sort of make it so that people don't get crazy over it, you know, if that makes sense. Because then people go, oh, what entry got 8? But this one got a 12, but this one got, you know, and then they start arguing and then influencing the scores and stuff. So then it starts getting annoying. So as long as I just give generalized ideas, I'm fine. Presentation. Good presentation. There was pixels on the tops of the roaming inky sprites. If anyone complains about your rating, I'll punch them. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a thing that to prevent, you know how people can be a little bit eager, and especially when money's on the line, they can I can't blame them for being quite passionate. There were pixels on top of the roaming inky sprites that could be fixed. The whole game looks decent, but it is quite plain, the RTP usage. The portraits look nice, and the battler was really cool. And I think the music was really well placed. I forgot about that. Overall, not overly showy presentation, but a decent mood. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do. And then polish. Minor visual bugs with the sprites, but overall not buggy. Yeah, that's my score. I might adjust the scores soon, but we'll see. Okay, cool. That's that. Let's go to the next one. How's everyone doing? How are you, Raim? How are you, Pudding? Oopsie, it shouldn't pick up that. That's my personal. That's me personal. That's me personal, I tell you. Lucky I don't really care. There's nothing really sensitive. Too late, you already screenshotted. Yeah, that was just the folder of Delphia. To blackmail when you rate my game. Well, that's if it gets into round 2, because I already said I don't have your game. That was one of the ones I checked, but yeah. Oops, I forgot to stop the recording for Delphia. I keep doing that.